Alright, welcome back. Today we will be doing cross-site scripting room from the Junior Penetration Tester pathway. So cross-site scripting is the room before the last one, which is command injection. We will be doing command injection in the next room, the next video. Alright, so let's jump in. So basically in the cross-site scripting room, task 1 all the way till task 6 are all readings. You can go through the readings, understand more about XSS. If you don't want, you can just watch the video as usual. So we have two challenges, perfecting your payload and practical example. I'm going to be explaining the basics of XSS while doing the practical challenges to save your time and to save mine as well. So I deployed the first one here. I'm going to take this link and navigate to that link in my virtual machine. Okay, so we have around 6 levels. For each level, we are presented with a box saying enter your name. By the way, these boxes are very common in all of the websites. So you see these kind of boxes for entering your name, sign up boxes, contacts, forms, comment boxes. These areas of any website are all common places to test for cross-site scripting. So first we have to understand what is a common area for testing for cross-site scripting. So one example is an input box like this one. This is an input box. All right. So let's see here. What do they need from us? So basically we need to get the flag from level 6. So we have to bypass all of these levels in order to get to level 6 and then be able to extract the flag. So basically for level 1. Level 1 here, if you right click on the box, inspect the element, you see we have here, I guess let's take a look at the source code. So in the source code, this is the element, this is the form, the method is get, and here we have the enter your name title, and then here we enter our name. Input, name equal payload. So here goes the input that we will enter in the input box. Okay, so let me open now a text editor, and so we can write our own payloads. So the basic XSS payload that all of you know is, let me make this bigger. So level 1. So now if you type hi here, I just typed hi and it was saying confirming XSS payload, saying XSS payload failed. Of course, because I typed only hi, right? Now if you go to my editor here, the simplest form of any XSS payload is to get the browser to pop up a statement. Now let's take an example here. Let me copy this payload, put it here. So if you try this one, you see now the browser popped up hello, indicating that the site is actually vulnerable to cross-site scripting or reflected to cross-site scripting. Let's see now that in action here. But here we get XSS payload failed. Maybe because we need to type here some sort of semicolon. Let's try that. All right, next one. You don't have access yet. I don't know why it's failing or saying it's failed. So shall we replace this with single quote? Right, it's just popping up. It means this is vulnerable. Okay, let me replace this with the text written in the room, which is THM. Maybe this is what they want. All right, so make sure you type THM here, because this is the expected text, the expected text in the alert that they would want you to get the browser to pop up in the room. So basically make sure it's THM, nothing else. Now go to level 2 now. So now we bypassed the level 1. So let's type the successful script, which is THM. Now level 2. Now if you try the same one with level 2 here, it's not going to work. So you see now, whatever you typed, it has been returned back to you as is. Now if you take a look at the source code, Okay, so here is your payload. Input value equal script alert thm slash script, and the reason is we have the double quotes. For some reason, the double quotes are, making mess with our payload. So we have to get rid of these double quotes. So how do we do that? We need to make small change on our payload. So we go back here, the same payload, right? Just we need to close the double quotes. So we type double quotes and we close the statement with a row, take that. So why do we do that? You see we have double quote, right? Now if we close a double quote with this one here, okay, and we put this arrow to close the input tag, now our script will work. It will start from here. Okay, then let's try that. And it worked. Now, why do you see this, by the way? Double quote and one right arrow. The reason for that is, if you take a look now at the source code. Okay, let's take a look at the source code now. You see this double quote here, and we have the arrow that we entered, and then there goes our script that got executed, and lastly we got the extra double quote and the arrow that came with the original source code. That's why you see this one here. All right, go to level 3 now. So, level 3. Okay. Now, if you don't want, normally we don't just throw XSS payloads in a blind way. We just want to understand the code, so we make sure we end up with the minimum number of failed attempts, not to alert any kind of firewall that might be deployed behind the application. So just first we want to understand the source code. View page source. Okay. Let's type something now like hi. And now you see we have some sort of text area here. Let's take a look now, page source. So this is the text area. So text area tag, and then you have your input, and then the ending of the text area tag. So now we have to bypass the text area tag. In order to do that, we have to close this, close the beginning of the text area tag, and then start our script. So this corresponds to, if we want to close this text area tag, we take this one, start our payload with this one, and then we follow that with the original payload. Let's try that. See if this is gonna work. And it worked. Now let's check out the page source. Okay, here you go. So text area, and then we ended the text area tag, and then we started our script, which got executed, and then we have an extra closing tag for the text area, which won't do much to our script. The most important is to get the payload executed this way. All right, level 4. So level 4, type now hi. Hello, hi. All right, let's take a look at the source. Okay, see now, there is a script. Our input goes to a script. This is the opening and this is the closing. Document.get element by class name, and this is the name 0.inner.html equal to hi. So here you go, your input. So how do you bypass this, by the way? So what do you need to do now? The first thing is we bypass the single quote here. So the first character of our payload will be a single quote. Next. And then we have to end this line here. So in order to end that, we need semicolon. So with semicolon, we will be able to end the statement and start our statement. So basically, since this is a JavaScript, we won't need to input the script or the opening and the closing of the script. So basically, we have them here. What do we have to do now? We have just to end the statement with a semicolon and then directly jump to alert THM this way and // just to make sure that everything after our payload won't be executed or will be treated as a comment. And this worked actually. Let's take a look at the source now, see how the code looks like. So this is it. Now we ended the input with a single quote, and then we ended the whole statement here, right? Now after that, the script tag after this statement, it will jump to the next statement, which is here, and it will do it will just do what all other scripts have done so far. Okay, go to level 5. All right, let's now view the page source. So let's see what we have here. So we have, this is, what do we have? Hello, and then we have hi. Okay, so let's try with normal script, right? Seems like there's nothing wrong here. If we try with the simple one, let's see if it will get executed. As you can see, it didn't work. Why? Because there's a filter that strips out the word script from the tags. This is the opening, as you can see, has been stripped from the script tag. If you take a look at the page source, you see here, this is the opening and this is the closing of the script tag. So the script word is being filtered. So we have now some sort of filter behind the application. Okay, so to bypass the filter, what you can do here, so level 5, you can take the simple form as is. We need to repeat the word script 2 times. So, but not in the way that you may imagine. So script like that, it's not gonna work. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna type S here, and then at the end of or after the T, we'll type crypt. What's gonna happen now, the web application will take the script, filter it out, and leave us with another one for us. So S here, and crypt here. Let's see if this plays out. And actually it worked. Let's take a look at the source now. So this is your input. As you can see, the script has been just included in the source code as is. Okay, now the last level. So level 6 now. So see, now we have a path, and there is a path to image, right? If we enter now, you see an image has been displayed. Now our options are just to replace the name of the image so we get different image returned back to us. All right, if you take a look now at the source code, you see we have the source or the image tag, source equal the path to the image. Now if you just go ahead and replace the images/cat with any one of these payloads, it will not work because it will be included inside the source. So that won't work. So you have to bypass the image tag here. So one way to do that is to get back. So we will leave /images/cat as is. And we will be closing this with the double quotes and start our payload. So this time, because there is image tag here, we're going to use the onload function. So onload equal alert. Well, let's take this as is. And that's it. Oh, okay. Enter. So it did work. Onload equal alert. How about if we use the page source? See why this didn't work. Uh-huh. So onload equal alert thm. Oh, all right. So this is the, so you have one double quotes here, one here and one here. This way it will work. I guess I have to remove them completely, right? Let me get back. So we have one here by the application. So let's remove this one and type one here to make the statement complete. So basically, if you don't know what is onload, the onload event executes the code of your choosing. So once the image loads, right, the application will execute the code you put here, even if the image doesn't exist, by the way. Ah, this one worked. And that's how you get the flag for the first level, or for this task. So, next one. So let's terminate this machine and start this one. So in the last challenge, we have to, so we have to steal the cookies, all right, which is the perfect scenario or the common scenario you would see in real world cases. So where you have, a website vulnerable to cross-site scripting, and what the attacker would do, they would create a payload and include the payload in a URL like this one, send the URL to a user who is registered on the site. Once the user clicks on the link, the cookie of the user will be returned back to the attacker. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do right now. We will wait for the machine to start. By the way, all of the payloads that I have written here, you can find them in the notes. I just published the notes. I will be publishing the updates on the application penetration testing notes. You can find that if you are subscribed to the channel membership. All right. Let's see what happened to the machine. So we have the IP address now. All right. All right, so we navigate now. We have this site, ACME IT support. Okay, all right. So before we dive in, let me just give a small introduction or premise. So basically, in this site, our objective will be to see if the site is vulnerable to stored cross-site scripting, which is very different from reflected cross-site scripting that we have examined in the last scenario. In the last scenario, we got the browser to return or pop up some alerts back to the user, which is us. Now, in the stored cross-site scripting, there is no alert returned back by the browser. Any code, any XSS payload that you input in any box will be stored in the website database. So, for example, if you integrate cookie stealer or keylogger into your XSS payload into some sort of page, every user who visits this page, all right, they will have their cookies stolen, or whatever they tap into this page will be logged and sent back to the attacker. That's the danger of the stored cross-site scripting. The code will be executed without any need for an interaction between you and the victim in the reflected cross-site scripting, you need to send a link to the victims in order to execute your code. Now, the case here is much different. So let's see now how this plays out. If you go to customers and sign up for an account, so now we will pretend that I am the admin of the site. Okay, so I'm just now registering my information. Okay, login. All right, so now suppose you are an admin, or let's say not admin, right? Let's say you are a user on the site and you want to send a support ticket to the administrator of the website, you know, claiming about some technical issue or claiming that you have some trouble regarding your request, regarding your application, whatever, doesn't matter now. Now let's go ahead and create a ticket. Let's type test. So now our ticket has been created, right? Now the administrator, they will see your ticket here and they will open on the ticket and see the contents of the ticket. Until now, everything is fine. Now let's create a new one. Ticket. In this example here, we will type test2 and here we will input some sort of XSS payload. See if this will work. Now our objective is to build an XSS payload that will steal the cookies of the user that we have just registered, which is me. Okay. Now, suppose you are the attacker, right? You are creating a ticket and you want the administrator or the website owner, when they view the ticket, like we did a while ago, their cookie would be sent to you. So what we would do here, the first thing, we would craft the payload. So challenge. Okay, the first thing is we take a look at the source code. See what kind of input box is this. Mostly it's text area, but let's take a look at this. Scroll down. Okay, so here it is. We have text area here. As we saw previously, we have to close the text area. Okay, so in our payload here, instead of test, I'm gonna type the closing tag of the text area in order to close this statement here. So the first thing, we take the text area or slash text area. And then we type our payload. So basically the payload here will be much different from these. These are for reflected cross-site scripting. Now the same would apply actually for reflected cross-site scripting if you want to steal the cookies of the user. So basically type now script fetch. Here I type the IP address of my machine. Okay. And now I will start a web server on my machine. Why I'm doing this, by the way, I want to get the user or the administrator who will view my tickets when they visit my tickets. Okay, the code here will be executed, which means they will be making a request to my web server. When they make a request to my web server, their cookies will be included. That's how we steal the cookies. So 8000, which is the port, cookie equal. I forgot what was here. Let me see. It was I want to type the function for encoding the cookie into base64 to ensure successful transmission. We need base64 for that. Okay. Yeah, BTOA. Okay, so let's copy this part. So BTOA will base64 the cookie to ensure successful transmission, and then we close the script. That's your payload. So now I'm gonna go ahead, create a new ticket, send the payload, and wait for the cookies to come back. Dashboard, create a ticket, name it test v2, and here you put your payload. Create. That's fine. Now you have done your part. Now there will come the administrator of the site. They will see two tickets. The first one is fine. The next one, when they click on it, you see there is nothing here, right? They will see nothing, only subject. What happened? The code you have just entered as an attacker got executed now, okay? And the attacker now, without, unknowingly, they have sent you a GET request to web server with their cookies included in the requests. Let's take a look. All right, so this is the cookie. And as you can see, the cookie encoded in base64. Let's take that, decode this one. No need now, no need anymore for the web server to be on. Echo base64-d admin equal false, session equal, and this is your last cookie. You get that and you answer with it, and the challenge will be done. So that was for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and see you in the next video.